Hello. Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. One. I want to make sure everything's working before I get into this. Let me make sure. Okay, can you hear me? It's showing that I am. So hopefully so. Okay. Yes, you can hear. Okay, great. So let's get into this. So last week we talked about the power of vision, right? Why we need to have it, the importance of having it. But just as important as that is, belief is just that important. So a lot of times we develop these big visions and big goals. Thank you, Raymond. These big visions and big goals. And we don't put as much emphasis on belief. So the thing is that what you believe determines your actions, right? So we're going to get all into that. I hope that you guys are having an awesome day already. I know it's early. It's 6 a.m., but it's cool. You guys are going to be pumped and ready to go by the end of this. So what we're going to talk about today, obviously, is belief. And one of the things that I want you guys to see, and I'm going to put this up here, and I know you're familiar with the verse, right? So a lot of us, well, I've heard it so many times, and this verse has been quoted over and over and over again. Matthew 7:7. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find it. Knock, and it will be open to you. So one of the things that we harp on is ask. We don't have a problem with asking. We normally are inclined to ask, right? If we need something, if we've got to pay our bills, if we are working toward a goal, we're usually okay with putting it out there. I'm just like, okay, Lord, I need your help with this. But the other part, the seeking and the knocking, is the thing that we sometimes struggle with. So the thing is that these things are all tied together. So if you do not believe fully, if you don't fully believe in what you're going for and what you're asking for, then will you be inclined to seek it? And then a step further, if you don't believe what you're asking for, if you don't believe in your dreams, if you don't believe in your desires, if you don't believe in that vision that you're praying in and having faith in God for, if you don't fully believe in that, are you going to knock? It's not going to happen. So if you don't fully believe, then you don't fully seek. And then in turn, when that door is presented to you, when you're walking up to that door or you're faced with it, you're not going to open it. I mean, well, you're not going to knock so that it can be opened. So all this goes in tandem. And I'm going to connect this because that's the same way our belief system works, right? So we all know that our actions determine our results. That is something that, I've heard so many times. People love to talk about it, about how our actions determine where we are. So the amount of action that you take, the type of action that you take determines your results. And that's how we get the hustle culture. That's how we've got this, grinding and making the most of everything and working 18 hours a day and all this other stuff, no sleep. Yeah, That's where all that comes from, because your actions determine your results. But there's a key ingredient that's missing in that, and that's the belief. So what you believe determines your actions. And then your actions determine your results. So we can't just focus solely on the fact that we've got to put in a lot of action, massive action, and you putting in all hours of the day without you believing in what you're doing is only going to lead you in circles, and it's only going to leave you overwhelmed and tired and confused and frustrated. And that's not where we want to go. So to look at kind of how our belief system works, right? So here it is that we've got this well of unlimited potential. That's us. Because one of the things that we talked about in our earlier session was that God is limitless. So if God is limitless, and we're connected to the source, which is God, and his power is running through us, that means that we are limitless, right? So we have this well of unlimited potential, which, is flowing directly from God. So it's not a question of whether we can achieve the things that we want to achieve. It's a question of will we, right? So this well of unlimited potential, we can tap into it, but the amount that we tap into it determines our belief. Is determined by our belief. So we've got a whole river of potential, but because we sometimes don't fully believe, we're only going there and we're only picking up these little tiny buckets and saying, okay, well, this is what I'm going to take for today. And that's what I'm going to take into to reaching my goals. This is what I'm going to take into fulfilling my vision. When literally everything is unlimited. So we can tap into it. We can tap into as much as we want, but it's determined by our belief. And just like I said, your action, the amount of action that you take and the type of action. We need to highlight the type of action, because just any old action isn't going to get you to where you want to go. That was the whole purpose of us talking about vision and being clear about our vision and what it is that we want and what it is that we're seeking. Because one of the things is that if you're clear, if you understand what you're going for, then that's going to determine the type of action that you take. The type of action that you take is going to be clear. It's going to be concise. It's going to be focused. It's going to be that much better at propelling you towards your vision and towards your goal and towards your desires. So we see how that works there. Yeah. So we want to make sure that the type of action is the action that we want to take, and the amount of action. So if you really believe in something, you're putting in the work. You're putting in the work to get there, and you're not thinking about the pain that you're enduring while you're getting there. You're not thinking about the amount of time that is taking to get there. You're not thinking about, oh my gosh, I don't know, after I take this step, I don't know how to get to, that vision seems so big that I don't know the other steps to get to it. You're not worried about that. You're saying, okay, well, I know that my vision is going to come to fruition. I believe that I can do this. So I know all heaven and earth is going to move when I move. And when I believe, we're going to come in together, God and I, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, but I know it is. I know it is going to happen. I just don't know when, and I don't know how, but I'm committed to taking each step necessary to be able to get to my goal. So we talked about how that goes, right? So unlimited potential, Belief determines the amount of that potential that you tap into. And it also determines the amount of action and the type of action that you're going to take. And then your action, the action that you're taking and the type of action that you're taking is then going to determine your results, right? So we've got it. We've got it to where what will happen if we truly believe, but what we a lot of the time see is that when people don't fully believe in what they're going for. So, and I've had plenty of times like that where I've set out to do something and I didn't fully believe, that I could do it. But I'm like, okay, I want to do it. I desire to do it. So hopefully I'm going to do it. And I set out to do it. And I take action that is not going to get me there, right? I take half-hearted action. And what happens is that it produces half-hearted results. And then when I see my results, then I'm like, see, I knew it wasn't going to happen. I knew it. And that just circles around and confirms that limiting belief that I started with. So if you're starting out not sure if you're going to be able to even achieve this thing, if this is even possible for you, then you're going to take that action, and then your result is going to come around and it's going to confirm what it is that you were thinking in the first place, is that you weren't good enough, that you weren't smart enough, that you didn't have enough resources, that you didn't have enough money, that you knew the money wasn't going to come from anywhere, but you working really hard. All these things that you shouldn't be thinking when you're going into achieving, that's what it's going to confirm. So in order to build up that muscle and to build up that belief system and really get it to where you're tapping into your full potential, you've got to play all out. You've got to burn all the other bridges that are leading to other places. You've got to be focused. You've got to really believe that it's something that you can do. It's something that you can achieve. It's something within your reach. And just knowing that nothing is off limits. So then you're putting in all of your eggs. You're putting in all of your effort. And therefore, it's going to produce the results that you want, and it's going to circle right back around and now give you more confidence to take the next step, right, towards your goal. That it's built little by little. Go all in. Yes, I'm going to show that. We've got to go all in. We got to play all out. And that's the way to increase our confidence. That's the way to increase our beliefs. That's the way to be able to get to our goals, right? So I want you guys to remember that. Remember that. So your belief will fuel your vision. We know that. It'll help you reach your goals. And not only that, your belief will allow you to make it through tough situations. So one of the things that we talked about was when we were talking about our vision, is that making it clear and writing it down and knowing where you want to go. That's crucial to getting there. And you checking in on that as often as possible, reading it, believing it, closing your eyes and seeing it. Those things are imperative when you're working towards a goal. But just like I said, the vision works in tandem with you believing. So that belief and that vision need to be married. And so when you do face obstacles, when you do face trials, when things come up and you're looking at and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't where I really want to be. This isn't matching the vision that God had for me. This isn't matching that promise that I'm working towards. I'm frustrated. I'm confused. I don't, doubt starts to creep in, and then it tries to tell you that you're not going to be able to make it, that you're not strong enough, that you're not smart enough. All these things that will creep up in your mind when times get hard. You go back to that vision and you go back to that belief, and you affirm to yourself that no, I know that this is promised, and I know that God doesn't lie, and I know that if this is promised, if this is something that I truly desire, it was placed there for a reason. God placed this in me, and I am staying connected to Him, and I am seeking Him in everything that I'm doing. So I know that I'm on the right path. It may not feel that way. It may feel painful, but I know I'm on the right path. I'm headed in the right direction. And I know if I keep walking this way, and if I keep seeking Him, and I keep my eyes and my ears turned towards Him, then it's inevitable that I am going to make it. But I've got to do my part. And my part is to put in the action. My part is the faith. It's said that faith without action is dead. But it goes the opposite way too. You need both. You can take that action, just like we said, you can take that action. But if you lack the faith, then you're just going to be working in circles. So you're going to need both to be able to get you through those times. Okay? So we've got that. And I just want to highlight that again. So if God called you by name, and He said that you were equipped for the job, and He said that you're the person for the job, and He said that you can do it, and you know that He doesn't lie, and He's full of unlimited potential, and that means that you have unlimited potential too. Why are you questioning whether you're going to be able to get to where you want to get? Why are you questioning that vision that's been shown to you? Why are you questioning the desires that's been placed on your heart? Why are you wondering whether you'll make it there? Is something holding you back from putting everything into it? Why are you half-stepping? Why are you partly on the fence, and then you got your leg just hanging out, just touching the ground, just in case you fall, just in case you don't make it over the fence? I've got to stay grounded in this, so I've got to keep my foot on the ground. You're staying grounded in the wrong thing. You need to be grounded in God. You need to be grounded in the fact that He called you. You need to be grounded in the fact that He knows your potential. He knows what you're working with. That's why He chose you for the job. So I want that to be ringing in your head when the voice of doubt, the voice of fear comes in, when you're working towards your vision, when you're working towards your goals, when you're working towards your calling. Remind yourself of that. God called me for this. I'm more than equipped for this. I got this, and I can handle it. There's nothing that is thrown my way that I cannot handle. All right? So I'm going to put up another verse, right? So it's James 2:2. So this is going to further affirm what I was saying as far as the belief and faith. Faith and your action have to work in tandem. Like, you don't want one without the other. That's just not, we're not trying to work in circles. We've done that enough. I know I've done that enough. Too many times I've burnt myself out doing that. These two things need to be together. So James 2:2 says, you see that his faith and his actions were working together, and his faith was made complete by what he did. That right there is describing the same pattern, the same belief pattern that I just talked about. So we've got the faith here, the belief here will determine your actions. And then your actions will determine your results. And then your results come all the way back, and it's going to affirm where you started out in the first place. So whether you believe, that's the crux of everything. Whether you believe is important, because it's either going to make your faith complete or it's going to shatter it. There's only two ways you can go. So we've got to have those things married together. So I go back to the comments. Be grounded in God. Yes. All right. Yeah. Yes. Turn up. Okay. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, we're turning up, and we're turning up and being grounded and understanding the power of belief and getting to where we want to get to. This is so important. All right. So we know that faith is said to be belief in what you're hoping for, and of course the evidence of things not seen, right? But the thing is that we always say that it's like, okay, having faith, you got to have faith in what you can't see yet, what you can't yet see. And when we're talking about that, it's faith in what we can't see in our current reality, like what we can't physically touch. Because the thing is that if you believe in it enough, believe in it enough, there you go. If you believe in it enough, it becomes a thing that you can see. It becomes that real that you see it every time you close your eyes. You see it every time you lay down to go to sleep. You see it every time you're driving. Every time your mind goes into, because sometimes when you're driving and you know where you're going, you end up just going there, and you end up there and you're like, well, how did I even get here? Like, I don't even remember taking the turns. Okay. So during that time, while you're having that, that non-focused time in your mind, that's what you're going to be seeing, the vision that you're working towards. It becomes that real to where it's not something that I'm believing in that I can't yet see, because I see it. I see the details. I see what I'm doing. I see what I'm wearing. I see, me talking to people. I see me having an impact in the community. I see me owning, multiple businesses, whatever it is that you're working toward. If you believe in it, and if it's where you make it that clear, and that, you write it out to where it becomes real, and you're constantly rehearsing it, you're constantly visiting it, you're constantly talking about it, that it becomes something that you can hold. You're just holding it in your mind. You're not physically touching it. No. But there is nothing that's in your mind that can tell you that this thing isn't real. It is real. It just hasn't happened yet. So that's where I want you guys to get to, where it's like, maybe you don't see it. Maybe you can't, you can't touch it. You can't feel it, all that stuff. I can't touch it and can't feel it, but I can sure see it. I see it. I see it coming together. I see myself doing this. I see myself making waves. Everything that I have in my vision, I see it coming to fruition. And there's nothing or nobody that can tell me otherwise. So I want you guys to be that tight to your vision, holding it that tight. So I got this because God's got me. Exactly what I have to speak to myself as a reminder of the limitless power beyond my own strength. That's it right there. That's it. So it's not so much about having faith in your abilities, right? Because our abilities sometimes can get us only but so far. If we put everything on our shoulders, trust me, I've done it. I've done it multiple times. I am stubborn, y'all. I am super stubborn. So as many times as I've done this and as many times as I've burnt out and fell on my face, I know not to put everything on your shoulders. And when you have faith in yourself and faith in solely your abilities, that's what happens. You're putting it all in your shoulders and saying, all right, God, I got this. I'm going to get to my vision. And what was revealed to me when I was going through that, right? Because it was extremely difficult. And I was like trudging through. And I was feeling so much pain, so much overwhelm, so much frustration, so much confusion. And I just asked, I'm like, God, you laid this on my heart. You gave me this vision. Why is it so hard? Like, I don't feel like I'm really getting anywhere. And I am working so hard. And I want to show you that I'm working hard, Lord. Like, I want you to see, like, I'm not sleeping. I'm working. I'm working all the time. I'm sacrificing time with my family. I'm sacrificing time with friends. I am working for you. So why in the world am I not making it? Like, why is it so hard? And what was revealed to me is that, honey, there's two ways. There's still two ways that you can get there. You can have it where you take everything on your shoulders, right? And you work extremely hard. And it comes at the sacrifice of your family. It comes at the sacrifice of the things that bring you joy and peace and keep you grounded. And you could very well get there. You could reach your vision if you want to do it that way. And the other way that you can go about it is take that weight off of your shoulders and give it to me. And I'll lead you. I'll guide you. And what you can do is have that time with your family. What you can do is have that peace that you want. What you can do is have that joy that you want. You can engage in the things that bring you joy because you'll spend less time trudging and less time going around in circles and more time being led. So hustling and grinding, you can do that. It's all up to you. You can do that and you can get to where you want to be. But grinding with the load on your shoulders versus grinding without it is a totally different feeling. Take that weight off your shoulders and give it on up. Because God is sitting there waiting. He's like, okay, look, I can handle it. Okay? I know you're strong and all, but I'm telling you, it'll be much easier if you hand it over to me. I am the one who gave you that vision in the first place. I'm the one who placed those desires in your heart. So why not come to me for everything that you need? Do you not think that I wouldn't supply it? Why? Why do we think that? I mean, even as it is written in the Bible, right? And me becoming a parent and having kids, I understand it even more. If my kids come up and ask me for something, right? I want to give it to them. I want to provide them with it. I want to be able to guide them. I don't want them to experience the same hurts and the same disappointments and the same frustration that I experienced. I want to lead them. I want to take the burdens off their shoulders. I don't want them worrying about, if we're going to have a roof over our head. I don't want them to worry about what we're going to eat. All those things I want to take on. And I want them to just be joyful. Just do that. That's the thing. And my husband and I always say this, right? We want them to be focused on what God called them to do. We want them to be focused on their purpose. We want them to live out their calling. So we say, focus on that and we'll handle the rest. So if we say that to our own children, why is it any different when we come to God? Are we not his children? Does he not want the same thing for us? Does he not want us to be, well, you've got one job, okay? I called you for a purpose and I want you to fulfill your calling. And that's the only thing that I want you to be out here worrying about. You don't have to worry about anything else. Just seek me, seek my guidance, take heed to it, obey, and move. That's it. Y'all gonna get tired of me saying this because I'm gonna say it every single time that we meet, because I want it to be that simple for you guys. I want it to be where things come up and in that voice of doubt, you can sit there and say, I got one job. And one job does not include me worrying. One job does not include me doubting. That one job to be able to fulfill my calling, to be able to fulfill my vision, to be able to get to my goals. One job. That's all. Stop making it harder than what it is. Okay? So the next verse, all right, good morning, Tammy. The next verse is Mark 9:23. And Jesus said to him, if you can, all things are possible to one who believes. So not some, not half, not 3/4, but all things. This is all inclusive. There's nothing that was left out. It's not where he said, well, only some things, okay. Well, all things to the exclusion of, no. He said all and he left it at all. So why aren't we leaving it at all? Leave it. All things. There's nothing off limits. There's nothing outside of your reach. There's nothing that you can't do. All things are possible. So whatever it is that you're reaching towards, whatever it is that you're going for, whatever it is that you're believing for, all things are possible. That's all you need to tell yourself. That's it. That's it. And I've gotten into now just recently the habit of just saying that. All things are possible. This is possible. No matter how it feels, no matter what I'm going through, no matter what I'm currently seeing, all things are possible. This thing that I am going for is possible. It's possible. It doesn't matter if I'm in the gym, because honey, I need that encouragement, right? When I'm in the gym. It's been a while since I've been in there. I took off almost the entire pregnancy. That was not a good thing. So now I'm here and I'm just dreading going in the gym because it is painful. Oh my gosh, it's painful. And I get reminded each time that I go in there how not in shape I am. I'm saying like, whoa, man, I am not in shape. Oh my gosh, this hurts. This didn't used to hurt, right? So all that stuff is going on in my mind. And that doesn't help when I'm sitting here looking in the mirror. Now, I envision, myself being in shape, back to where I was. And you having all these, me having all these things going through my head, it's just like, you're out of shape. This hurts. And I'm going back and forth. That's not helping me get to my goal, right? But in the midst of that, I sit there and tell myself in the mirror, it's possible. It's possible. That's it. End of story. I don't care what is going through. I don't care what my mind is currently, thinking at that moment. I'm going to stop it and say it's possible. So what I've learned to do is, okay, now when I'm going to the gym, yeah, it's painful, but guess what? That pain is a sign of growth. That pain is a sign that I'm getting stronger. That pain is a sign that I'm getting more, I'm becoming more in shape. I'm becoming more equipped to get to where I want to get to. So I welcome the pain. I welcome the sweat. I welcome feeling uncomfortable, because it is extremely uncomfortable being in the gym now, because I feel off. I feel off. I haven't been there in a while. So I embrace the feeling uncomfortable, because I know where it's going to bring me if I only just keep going. If I only remain consistent, if I only repeat to myself and believe that it's possible. Because if I'm believing it's possible, then that's fueling me to go to the gym. And then when I go to the gym, I'm working out and I'm feeling better. And my body is becoming more in shape. And then so the result that I'm going to get is going to what? Go back around and refuel my belief. So that's how I remain consistent. That's how I keep going. Despite the pain, despite what I feel, despite what comes in my mind, it's possible. Y'all like how I did that, right? So that's the same thing. Y'all can apply that gym, me going to the gym or you going to the gym and it being uncomfortable, and applying that to your real life situation and everything that you're going through. Because just like I said that the other day, I posted a video that it's going to be painful. You're going to get pain. We talked about that. But we can start inviting pain. We can start looking forward to pain. Come on, if I'm not experiencing pain, then honey, if I'm in the gym and I'm not experiencing pain, then do I think that I'm growing? Do I think that my muscles are getting strengthened? No, it's under pressure that my muscles begin to grow and begin to be strengthened. It's under pressure that you become strengthened and that you begin to grow. Welcome that pressure, because all things are possible. All right. So, oh, yes. Aha. All things are possible. We need to less. Yes. All things. And I love the all caps, right? All caps. All. That's we've got all. Everything. There is nothing off limits to us. Like, what in the world? Okay. To wait for it and believe. We've got to believe. Believe, take some action, take our action, and we wait. Like, that's just, it's going to come. It's inevitable that it's going to come. That's the thing. We hold that tight in our mind. I am doing this for a reason. It's going to come. Period. Because I know that all things are possible. Nothing's off limit. So I can believe in that. And I can take action that reflects my belief. End of story. It's possible. Yes. So like having a baby. I done had 3. Yes. As the pain intensifies, I know that it's closer to my delivery. That's what it is. So you welcome pain. If I go into that, first of all, they're not taking me into the hospital if I'm not experiencing any type of pain. My water hasn't broken, nothing has happened, nothing is moving, nothing is shaking. They're like, honey, you're not ready yet. Go back home. Go back. But once the water breaks, boom. And sometimes I've had it where even before the water breaks, we have it where the pain is happening. And I was in so much pain. That happened with my son, and my water hadn't broken. And I'm in the doctor's office, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. He feels like he's gonna come out anytime now. And then like the water hasn't broken. And the pain just intensified, and it just kept, I mean, like I literally felt like I was going to die on that table. Oh my gosh, it was so painful. And then boom, my water breaks. And they're like, oh my gosh, oh, we've got to hurry up because he's coming. But that's what happened. As the pain intensified, I knew that it was coming. It was only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. I'm not going to be here forever. And that's what we've got to tell ourselves when we're going through these things. I'm not going to be in the situation forever. This is a now thing. This is not a forever thing. I'm in it right now. I'm in it because I need to experience growth. There's something that I have to learn through this. I am here. I'm focused on what it is that I need to learn. And I know just as quick as I learn it, I'll be out. This is not forever. All right? So once the water break, there's no going back. No, we have to flow. So, honey, there's nothing that you can do in that moment. The water breaks. They're like, this baby is coming out. We can't push him back in. He's coming. That's it. So I am going to leave y'all with this story, right? So I don't know if you guys have heard of this person. I want to say, I'm sure you have at some point, or at least heard this story. And so it's about, I guess, prior to 1954, right? It was believed that running a mile under 4 minutes was impossible. Like nobody had done it, even though people had tried it. Nobody had done it. So the doctors were like, look, I think you would actually die if you tried, because physically it is impossible for anybody to run under 4 minutes for a mile. Like, it's just not happening. So we went so long with that belief, right? That, oh, why even try? Because I can't do it. Or I'm gonna try, but then in the back of my head, I know that I can't do it because I ain't trying to die. And the doctors then said that if I try this, if I attempt to do this, I may die. So I'm gonna get on this track, and I'm gonna aim toward it, but I really don't necessarily believe it. So then May 6, 1954, this guy comes. His name was Roger Bannister. He comes and he breaks the 4 minute mile. He runs under 4 minutes. And everybody's like, what? Oh my gosh. He collapsed when he crossed the finish line. And he thought he was dead. Because that's what everybody was saying. But then he got up. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, he did it. And he's not dead. It is possible. So how did he do it? It's because he set that goal to become the first man who ran a mile under 4 minutes. And not only did he set the goal, he believed in that goal. And because he believed in it, he took the action. And that action produced the result. And then it not only went back and fueled his belief, but it fueled others. Right? So one of the things that he said, right? So I'm going to read this. Here's what he said about that final burst of energy that he experienced during the home stretch. So he's coming and he's like, "Oh, I am tired, and I hope that I'm making under 4. I don't know, but man, I am tired." But then he hears the crowd cheering, right? So he's like, "Wait, I must be on to something. I I think I can do this. I can do this. Let me do this, right?" So this is what he said about that last stretch. He said, "The earth seemed to move with me. I found a new source of power and beauty, a source I never knew existed." Do y'all, I want that to soak in, right? He said the earth seemed to move with him, and he found a new source that he never thought existed. Y'all, if you believe and you take action in that belief, heaven and earth will move with you and move the mountains that are blocking you from whatever it is that you're trying to get to. All you've got to do is believe and take that necessary action. That's it. And everything else will come. God is there. God's got your back. He's like, "Look, I'm holding you up. I'm pushing you. I'm giving you that boost. Whatever it is that you need, I will supply. Just go. Don't worry about, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I've got enough strength. I got you. I got your back. I'm holding you up. There, it is impossible for you to fall because I'm holding you. You can't. Even if you sat there and just went limp, just look, it's impossible for me to fall. I'm in this chair. I can sit there and do this. I don't have it where, I'm not giving anything. Nothing at all. I'm just like this. Am I falling? Am I on the ground right now? No, I'm not. Because something is holding me up. God is holding you up. You've got to know that. You've got to understand that. And you've got to believe that. That's where your faith should lie. In God, not in myself, not in my abilities, but in God. Because he can do everything. And I know with him all things are possible. He's got my back. He's got your back. So I want to highlight this, right? So we talked about Roger Bannister, right? And how he shattered that belief that no one can run a mile under 4 minutes. He did it. But get this. After he shattered that belief, right? And proved it to be wrong, people were able to see that and believe bigger. They weren't held captive to that limiting belief that it's impossible. No one can run this, under 4 minutes. I just can't do it. It's physically impossible. There's no reason why I should even try. They were able to let that go. And the very next month, someone went and beat his record. And now to this day, we've got thousands of people who have ran the mile under 4 minutes. And people continue to do so. And we're not even talking about collegiate. Oh my gosh, I keep wanting to say assets. I don't know why. Athletes, right? We're not just talking about people who are in college who are running the mile under 4 minutes. We're not talking about Olympians who are just running this under 4 minutes. We're talking about high schoolers, y'all, right? This is something that is now become common. There have been plenty of people that have done so and are still doing so. So do you all see how this works? And do you see why your belief is so powerful? Your belief is powerful, not only for you to be able to reach your goals, not only for you to bring your vision to fruition, not only for you to be able to bring those desires in hand of where you can physically see them and touch them. It's for others as well. There are other people who are counting on you, who are depending on you to give it all you got, to shatter those beliefs, those limiting beliefs that you have, that you know that if you're experiencing them, other people are as well. People are waiting on you. People have been assigned to you. You have that purpose. You have a purpose. You have a calling, and it is your duty to fulfill it. So then now I can sit there and I'm looking at you and I'm like, well, because she did it, I can too. That's how it works. This is a cycle. And it's on you to believe that it is possible. It is on you to take that necessary action to be able to get that desired result. And then that desired result now comes in and not only fuels you and gives you more confidence, it gives the other people who are watching you more confidence. And it now fuels them and lights them on fire to be able to fulfill their purpose and fulfill their calling and make their dreams come to fruition and really realize that vision that God has for themselves. It's all connected, y'all. It's all connected. So I want you guys, in closing, I guess, to think about, you know how I said, when things are a little, a little shaky, or I'm experiencing some pain, I go back to, it's possible. It's possible. Those are my 2 words that I say to be able to get my mind back in action, right? To get me focused on where it is that I want to go, to refocus my mind, reprogram my mind in that moment that my mind kind of slips away. So, what is the phrase that you can develop to be able to get you back on track when those limiting beliefs come in, when you're doubting yourself and your abilities, when someone says something to you that doesn't match where you want to go, or your beliefs in yourself? When somebody says, you can't do that, I don't even know why you're trying. Girl, you ain't smart enough. Dude, why are you even trying to do that? You better just stay at that job. You know what? That's a good job. You better stay there because you can't do nothing else. When that stuff happens, what is the phrase that you can develop to be able to push through that, to push through the adversity, to push through the trials, to push through the obstacles that it's inevitable that you're going to face, to push through that pain? What can you say to yourself to keep you moving and to keep you going, to keep you focused on fulfilling your vision? So I want you guys to think about that and, write it down so you remember and continue to tell yourself that. All right. So I'm going to post this. Belief raises the bar and creates the new normal. Yes. And creation is waiting on you. It is waiting on you. It's what, come on, y'all. Y'all see how this thing, that, how people say the circle of life, it includes that too. You going for your vision, you going for your goals, you taking the necessary action. You're speaking life. You're creating life. You're giving life into others who didn't know that they had it, couldn't see the life that they could be living. It's up to y'all. Y'all have those people. Y'all have people who are assigned to you. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop giving half-hearted effort. Go all out. Get your foot off the ground. Stop being grounded in the wrong thing. Lift it up. Go over the fence and play all out. So all things are possible when we believe. It's already done. Advantage, adversity. All right. Thank you. All right. So I am going to end on that note, y'all. Oh my goodness. We are co-creators with faith, belief, and action. Yes. We've got to put that in our mind that we are creating our own reality. And the thing is, and that's the thing that we can rest on, right? We can rest on that, is that we aren't alone. We aren't alone in this creation. We are co-creators. We are co-creating with the creator himself, right? He didn't give us one of his assistants. He didn't say, okay, well, I can't be bothered with you. I am too high and too mighty for your little things that you want to do. No, we are creating with him. Y'all got the CEO right here. How can you not operate this business, which is us, to its full capacity? What? You've got him. He created the business. He knows that he has the vision. How is he not able to lead you to where you want to go? No. I ain't hearing it. I'm not having it. Y'all, the excuses, we gotta let them go. We let them go today. It's gone. No more. So I'm going to be what I've never been, do what I've never done, and go where I've never gone. If not now, then when? Bam. Thank you, Donovan. We're gonna leave on that note. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. No, we're going to places that we haven't gone, we haven't experienced except in our mind, right? Because we still see it in our mind. We haven't gone there physically, but we're gonna be there. And I'm gonna meet you, Donovan. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there. And I hope you guys have a great day. All right. On purpose. And we are reminding ourselves that all things are possible. All things are possible. And don't forget, write out that phrase, whatever you think is going to help you the most to be able to fuel yourself, to work toward your goals, work towards your vision, keep you focused when doubt comes and creeps in. Remember, think on that. Think on what will get you moving, and write it down. Hold it close and memorize it. I will talk to you guys later. See you on Wednesday, next Wednesday. All right? Bye.